What's up, guys? This is an appropriate place to have the string, and this is an appropriate time for us to end the DRESSROSA arc. I'm so excited, and I mean, if you still count things in sagas, which I know, like, I've heard mixed things, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure at this point in the show, you don't even really have sagas anymore. You just have arcs mostly. But if you count, I believe if you do count DRESSROSA saga, the DRESSROSA saga is Punk Hazard and DRESSROSA. And so if you do count that as a saga, then we're ending the DRESSROSA saga today as well, which is huge, really big. I'm very excited to wrap this up. I enjoyed DRESSROSA. I genuinely did. I think DRESSROSA had some like incredible moments in it, and some great characters. I think the characters in DRESSROSA are really great. Like, there are very few that I didn't really like, you know? Like, I didn't love Trebol, even though I think his power, like the way they animated his power and stuff was sometimes cool. And I mean, the way his character ended was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think I ended up liking him very much. And I'm sure there's people that I'm forgetting in my head, but for the most part, it's not immediately jumping to mind like, oh, I really didn't like this character or these characters in this arc, you know? Which is a good sign. It's very good that, you know, this far into the series, Oda is still writing some really great characters, because in this arc, we got introduced to Cavendish and Bart and Sai and Baby Five, and like, I'm just naming some characters that I really liked. Laoji, Rebecca, Kiros. Like, there's, you know, quite a lot of characters that I really enjoyed, and that were introduced in this arc, and it's been really great. Obviously the anime has had some pretty severe pacing issues, and so I'm pretty sure that this arc and the Wano Kingdom arc are apparently some of the worst for that. But you know, now having seen this, I can see what people were saying. I was always wondering, like, when I heard people say that, I thought like, well, sometimes people say that, but I don't find it too bad, you know, like it really doesn't bother me that much. But there were definitely several episodes in this arc that I actively was like, yeah, no, these are pretty horrible, like really bad, because of the pacing. So like the one where it's just Pika walking across the city for the entire episode, like stuff like that. The bit where it's like all of the Colosseum people are like gathered together and running towards the palace, and it's just them running for a while, and there was like, I think, several episodes of that basically. Like, yeah, those sorts of episodes really make you go, okay, yeah, I get it. You know, this could have been literally 1 minute of the episode, instead it's a 24-minute episode. And I mean, like, there are some parts where it's like it could have been stretched out, but I didn't mind it that much because of certain things. So like, there's a time where I mean, when the announcer was announcing that Luffy was the winner, that episode is slow paced and is kind of dumb how slow paced it is, but at the same time, I liked the moment of him announcing that, like, that Luffy won the battle or whatever, and just seeing like Guts like have emotional moments. So like, I didn't mind that too much. And I mean, the Usopp spending an entire episode aiming at Sugar and then firing, that could have been bad, but I really loved that episode. Like, I really enjoyed it. So that one wasn't bad to me. That was an example of like, it was slow, but I still really loved it. So yeah, there was, and I'm you know, going over all this now because we're about to wrap up the arc, and I think this is a good time to talk about this. But yeah, so there was like ups and downs throughout the entire arc, which, you know, it happens sometimes. I'm not I'm not super upset about it. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing that like this is otherwise a really good arc and that was kind of dragged down by the pacing, but I'm still just happy to be experiencing One Piece, you know, and happy to be experiencing a good arc. I'm not gonna let it get me down too much. It's gonna be hard not to remember the fact that this was happening during this arc, but I'm not gonna let it hurt me in here. So yeah, anyway. Other than that, really good arc, really fun. Doflamingo is, I think, one of the best One Piece villains we've had. He was so good. There are very few villains in this series that I think will like have held up to him. So yeah, brilliant stuff. And the stuff that they've been wrapping up recently and setting up sounds really fun. I'm very curious about Zoe. I don't know at all what to expect from Zoe because it's like a kind of, I want to say a smaller arc, but it's not really that small. I mean, it's still quite a bit longer than most anime arcs are. But compared to DRESSROSA, it's small. So I don't really know what to expect. How small is it, actually? Because I mean, I already have seen this information, but I don't want to be completely talking out of my ass. Yeah, so Zoe is about 32 episodes, which is like a third or even a quarter of what DRESSROSA was. So it's not gonna be, you know, a massive undertaking. It'll probably take me like a month and a bit in real life time to get through that arc. So not much at all. But yeah, anyway, so I'm excited to get into that, but we're not doing that today. Today we're wrapping up DRESSROSA. I don't know what to expect from these episodes. Last thing that was happening was Law and what's his name? The previous fleet admiral, Sengoku. Law and Sengoku were talking to one another. Sengoku basically found out that Law was the one from all that time ago that had the white lead disease and the kid or whatever. But yeah, nothing had really happened in that scene yet. I don't know if we're gonna stay with that scene and we're gonna see something happen. Maybe Sengoku's gonna fight Law. I don't know. I really don't know. But let's jump into it and find out. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get the next 20 or so episodes of One Piece on there right now. You can also join my YouTube membership down below to get the next week of early access for edited videos. So if you like the edits, you can stay here and get a week early just by joining the YouTube membership. And also check out my main channel, Jent Watches. If you watch Jent Watches One Piece, and you really like it, please check out my main channel as well and go check out some videos there. I'd love to see your comments that you comment here. I'd love to see them over there as well. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into this. This is episode 743 of One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. If you're new to this channel, the Recap Rubik's is a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on, and the goal is to beat the recap. And that is the cube complete. Okay, this episode is going to be called, well, I'm fixing my chair right now, but it's going to be called Fujitora vs. Luffy. I saw a versus and I saw Fujitora and Luffy. The Great Pirate Capture, Fujitora vs. Luffy. I was just fixing my chair with duct tape while the recap was going on. What did he see in you? Yeah, he was a great guy. Yeah, I don't know if you should be saying that to Sengoku though. Talk about D more. Give me more hints on it. Oh, that throws him. Give me more info. Teach me about the D. Good to know. Good line. True. Law trying so hard not to cry. Well, that's nice. That scene was nicer. Oh, like last episode we didn't get much from that scene, but that was good. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh. Okay, Fujitora is taking it serious now. Jesus, it's pretty dangerous. He's lifting up Pika's body, like stone body. Put the mic down, dude. You don't need to commentate this. Holy shit. Jesus, man. Aw, Rebecca. Suri's like, finally, he's taking it seriously. Yeah, leave it to him. There'll just be a lot of collateral damage otherwise. Someone grabbed a woman and got out of there. It's advanced looting. God damn, man! That's insane looking. Yeah, I mean, he's doing all this for you. How is this gonna go? I don't think Fujitora wants to take us out necessarily, but he thinks now it's like a mandate from God. Yeah, he's very strong. Is he just gonna attack? Yeah, he doesn't do... Well, he does do dodging, but he also wants to face things head on. Oh shit. Oh! He's fought admirals before. Not to great effect, but it's happened. And that didn't work out great for them. God damn. Oh shit, man! Are you serious? We doing this? Even the scared one? Second gear. If you're gonna all out, go to fourth gear, baby. He keeps telling him he's gonna punch him. Oh! I'd love if others could help, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Hawk axe, hell yeah! In a strange way, I don't know what he means by that. That he's telegraphing his moves even more than normal. I mean, yeah, he's telegraphing it exactly what he's gonna do. God damn, oh, the squash of the straw hat. Why is he doing this? Oh, cool. He headbutted the ground. Whoa. Whoa. Sick. That's so cool. A lot of punching. God damn. Fujitora, can you at least tell me what you're gonna do? Is he telling Fujitora because he's blind? And he's like, it's not fair since you can't see me doing this. Yeah. That's my question. Damn. That's my question. I don't think that's why he's doing it, but... No, that is what it is. He just feels bad attacking a blind man that he likes. Makes it harder to hate Luffy enough to try to capture him, huh? Wow! What is it good for? I mean, you can't tell Luffy what to do or what not to do. If he wants to telegraph his moves, he can. Oh! What's he doing? What? Whoa! What does this do? Oh my god. Just fuck with the space-time continuum? Is he creating a black hole? Jesus. He's pretty exhausted from that move. Okay. Really cool that we're in like a full-on battle with Fujitora right now. It's really interesting. And I love, like, we're seeing like the efforts of growth and stuff. I liked when Luffy was like, 2 years ago, I would have just run. But I tried that, didn't work. And also, I've realized I want to be king of the pirates. I gotta, at this point, I can't keep running, you know? He spent 2 years dedicating his life to training in the harshest possible conditions so that he didn't have to keep running. So now that he's in a situation where he could run and try to just get away from Fujitora, he's going, no, you're strong, you're an admiral, you're one of the people I'm gonna have to face eventually. Why not face you now? And it makes sense. So he's doing that. But then he's also like, he likes Fujitora and he's like, look, you have a disadvantage. It's not fair. Like, you're incredibly powerful, not because of your blindness, but in spite of it. And I think that's the issue. It's not like, it's not just like, oh, you're blind, so I will help you out. It's like a combination of, I like you, and also, you're blind, but you're still this powerful, which means you probably had to work extra hard to get to where you are. So, like, it's not fair that you still have this disadvantage. I'm gonna fight you at whatever your full strength could be, which is if you had sight, then this is what your full strength would be. I'll simulate you having sight by me literally telling you every move that I'm gonna do. But, you know, this could also serve to, in the future, if he wants to really fake him out, he might get Fujitora subconsciously used to him yelling out his moves, so at some point when he doesn't yell out his move, it might work, or if he yells out a move and then does a different move, even though he did that once here, but it was like an accident. But that one that was an accident, he did almost hit Fujitora. I mean, Fujitora said like, oh, it didn't even graze me or whatever. But I think he did almost hit him that time. So I think that he probably would be like slightly catching Fujitora off guard. Even if Fujitora is trying not to even focus on what he's saying, you know? Like, he's a strong enough fighter. He'd probably be blocking these attacks anyway. But like, it might be slowly getting his brain used to the idea of like, well, I hear something and then I feel that happen, and then I hear something and I feel it happen. So even if he's trying not to pay attention to it, it might still just be getting in his mind enough that Luffy could use it against him if he wanted. But I don't know. Luffy's like a very honest guy, so if he's telling Fujitora that that's his plan, it's like, I'm going to tell you what my moves are, then I kind of believe that Luffy would be doing that, you know? He doesn't tend to use too many deceptive tactics in his fighting. He's very straightforward in the way that he fights. I swear there was something else I was going to say about it, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, the other thing I really liked is the line from Sengoku that was like, don't try to find a reason for someone's love. I really like that as well. It's like almost like Law is trying to create excuses in his head. Like, whether or not he's doing this, I don't know. I never really got this idea from Law, but it does make sense for Law's character, so maybe he is doing it and that's what Sengoku sensed. But the idea of like Law justifying in his head, like, well, Korra was really nice to me and trying to protect me and stuff, but he was doing that because of this reason and because of this reason and because of this reason. When the truth of the matter is, Korra just really liked Law. He just like saw something in Law and really liked him as like a friend and son, maybe, you know, or a little brother. So he had this like really strong connection to him. And that's the reason he did all he did. It wasn't because of the op fruit. It wasn't because of the, like the lead disease or because of his situation or whatever. It was simply he cared about Law, and so that's why he did it. So I like that line of like, don't try to find reasons for it. Don't try to like worm your way into, well, if things were different, it would have been different, you know? Like if I didn't have white lead disease, we wouldn't do whatever or whatever. Don't try to figure out any of that stuff. It's just as simple as he loved you, so he did things for you, and that's it. So I really like that. But yeah, anyway, let's just move right along to the next episode. This is episode 744 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap, Rubik's. Here we go. Oh, whoa, that's the fucking title. What the fuck? I didn't get very far in the queue. Well, I didn't get all the way. This episode's called, I don't know, Luffy kills a blind man. Fujitora's demise. Yes, nice, Haradin. Oh, they're gonna force him to retreat? Oh, Luffy's gonna be pissed. Oh, Zoro's gonna fight! Huh? I think they're just gonna force Luffy to retreat. And Zoro and everyone. Ooh. Nice! Damn! Yonta Maria. Nita Maria. This is pretty cool. Luffy's so pissed. Oh no. Oh no. Here comes a big fucking ball of gunk. Shit, man. I mean, that's just gonna kill so many people, isn't it? What the fuck? Yeah, it's moving. Well, I mean, unless we do something, we're fucked. What can you even do? You can't possibly shambles all of that debris away. We need another king punch. But he hasn't been charging it. But he could just punch directly upward and get some of it. But then it just come down again. You have to punch it in an angle into the ocean. Man, even if they survive, is Rebecca gonna know that they survived? Like, I'm worried about her thinking that Luffy will die in this, and then just mourning him. You still gonna take me lightly? Jeez, man. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but if he takes on the 4 emperors, or at least 3 of them. I asked for this. You asked for the blindness? What? Oh. Oh. That's fucked up. That's crazy. You know what? It looks like he can't take out all the ships. I mean, it certainly will take out the Straw Hats one. But maybe some people will survive. What? What just happened? Excuse me? And then it stopped. It blew up and then stopped? What was that? Or was that just... That was just something Fujitora did? Like he was getting it spread out and ready? It looked like someone did that. But I guess not. I misread the scene. Yeah, it looks like he spread it out along the ships. So it's not a big ball anymore. It's like... Right. Shit, man. You know what? At least Nami survives. Like, no matter what. From this. If Nami's the main character from now on, that's okay. I'll keep watching. Luffy can die. The people? But they're going for Luffy. Is it that you're gonna kill a lot of people? Yeah, you can't get in there. He's gonna have to stop because of collateral damage. He's gonna have to stop because of collateral damage. Because he's a good guy and he wouldn't kill this many innocents. Whereas most of the people on this dock are pirates, if not all of them. Pirates and criminals and such. I think he's still considering it. Yeah, this is a good way to stop Fujitora. Because if he was someone like a Kaido would probably just do it, you know? But he's got a moral code. And Luffy's like, I don't even have Rebecca. Luffy just shouts out like, guys, she's at the flower field. And they go, oh, how bad? Sorry. Have a good trip. There's kids there as well. But they're smiling. I think they're just protecting him. This is them like pretending. Are they smiling? They're faking it. Yeah. Because they're trying to protect him. Mm-hmm. So they know. They know about the Tontatas. Just all the people holding themselves hostage. Wait, the repeats in this crowd. You can see that was just copied and pasted groups of the crowd. I saw the same woman in a dress like 10 times. This is nice. I like this. I love when we inspire cities and they all come to help. Damn your charisma, Straw Hat. He's a pirate. Aww. He wants to like picture him. That's cute. Aww. Oh my god. Now what? Just drop it in the ocean, dude. I mean, actually, they might need those for the buildings. Just slowly lower it back into the town. What? Whoa. Oh my god! There's a woman! Yep, we're scrapping the Sunny. We're putting a woman on the front. No, Gent, we love the Sunny. We love the lion flower thing at the front. It's not a woman. Sorry, guys. That's pretty awesome. Oh. The giant pirates, cool. Oh, well then read the manga, apparently. I think that's where they are now in Elbaf, right? I shouldn't know that, but I do. Okay. The beautiful pirates. The Barto Club. Then Donsai. Oh, the Haposui army. I love her so much. Triple X Gym Fighting Alliance. And then the Tontadas, okay. And then the future giant pirates. Mm-hmm. Cool. Damn, man. What the fuck? That would be fucking wild. Lord, I can't believe it either. Wait, this is fucking awesome. Wait. So if Luffy accepts this, and it could go either way, honestly. I could see Luffy saying like, no, I don't want to be like head of a huge thing like that or whatever, right? I can see him doing that. Like maybe it's like, we don't know that much about Gold Roger, but maybe it'd say like, oh, Gold Roger did it with just like a crew on one ship or whatever. I don't want to be like leading fucking everyone. But you know, if you're king of the pirates, that is kind of what you do. You lead everyone in a way. So I don't know. It could go either way with Luffy. I hope he accepts it though, because this idea of like, hey, they set up all of these awesome characters, and instead of us just saying like goodbye to them and they have no relation to the story anymore, like instead, these are armies that we have at our disposal. And if we need them, like they just exist out there. And it's straight up like, we're no longer the Straw Hats of like eight or nine people. I don't know I can't remember how many Straw Hats there are off the top of my head. Instead of just being that or just them and the Heart Pirates, it's now like thousands and thousands of people all under Straw Hat Luffy, which honestly, like at this point in the show, it fits Luffy's like magnitude of like how important he is and how much change he's made. It does make sense if he starts to have some armies here. This would be fucking sick. I would love that. I think that would be so cool if they fully go through with this. Like, it doesn't even need to have that many story implications. We don't need to see these armies doing stuff very often. But just, like, every once in a while, it'd be cool to, like, you know, either come across some of them and they're like, oh, Luffy, you're in charge. What do you need? Or something. Or just every once in a while, you know, you see like territory expanding that technically belongs to Luffy because it belongs to these different armies. That would be so cool. So like this setup is really cool, and yeah, and it would just make these characters feel more important. Like it would make them go from, oh, these are, you know, cool little one-off characters that were in Dressrosa, to this was the setup for some of the most important characters in the series in a certain way, you know? That would be very cool. Yeah, that was so good. This is a great episode overall as well. I loved, man, I mean, all of the Fujitora character work they did in this episode, so good. Like, first of all, finding out that he blinded himself. He blinded himself because of, like, the horrors that he had seen, right? And he had seen enough horrors that he was like, look, this was awful. Having sight is not worth it. Like, there's nothing good enough that would offset the horrible things that I've seen. So I'm going to blind myself so that I don't continue to torture myself with the sight of more atrocities. And I think that is a really interesting... I don't think I've seen that. Like, there's a lot of... I think I watch a lot of media, I would say, you know? I watch a decent amount of anime, a decent amount of TV shows, some movies. Movies is, like, my biggest weakness, I think, in terms of exposure to stuff. But, you know, some movies... And so, like, you know, I see a decent amount of media, so I see a lot of different storylines and takes on characters and stuff. I've seen, you know, 100 different blind badass characters, right? You see them all the time. I mean, most obvious examples are like Daredevil, Toph, Gojo-ish. I mean, Gojo's not blind, but he does blind himself. He does, like, put a blindfold on. So, like, you know, those sorts of characters, I've seen them a lot, right? I don't think I've ever seen a blind character that has blinded themselves out of guilt. And I think that's really interesting and really, and it sort of really speaks to his character. And it tells you a lot about him. Just like, you could just say like, oh, here's a character that is a blind man and he blinded himself because he'd seen so many atrocities and didn't want to see any more. And instantly that person would be able to have a pretty good picture of the type of character that Fujitora is. That's really interesting. But then to make it even fucking better, like this is to me like a stroke of writing genius. To make it even better, he he, you know, feels, he understands the way that he's inspired thousands of people, you know, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Like, he sees a way that Luffy has inspired scores of people, so much so that they run under flying rubble just to try to protect him. He sees all that happen and goes, Luffy is such a special individual. I want to know what his hair color is. You know, I want to know what his face looks like. I want to know how his eyes, like the shape of his eyes. I want to know all of these simple things about Luffy because he sounds like a beautiful person. And that to me, like, I'm laughing not out of humor. I'm laughing because sometimes I laugh when I get really emotional because that's a really beautiful sentiment, I think. He's actively, Like, he thought the atrocities that he had witnessed, whatever he had seen, all of the things that he had seen done or had to watch, he thought they were so bad that he blinded himself. But he thinks Luffy is so inspiring that he regrets that. It seems like the first time in his life that he's regret blinding himself because he just wants to see Luffy's face. And I think that's gorgeous because, like, just that's so poetic and gorgeous and beautiful. And it really speaks to how powerful an individual Luffy is, not in terms of his strength, in terms of his heart. I am blown away by that writing choice. Really, really great. That's inspiring. Oh. Man, I wanna remember that for a while. I hope I don't forget that line. I feel like I'm going to forget it for a bit, because there's so much stuff that happens in One Piece. Like, things come and go. You know, scenes will go in my head, and I'll love them, and then I'll forget about them for a while sometimes. But like, I feel like every time I come back to that scene, I'm gonna get a bit emotional because that's really beautiful. Okay, let's move on to the next episode. We've still got 2 left of this arc. Really cool. All right, this is episode 745 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap, Rubik's. Here we go. And that's the cube complete. Alright, this episode's gonna be called Family Ritual, the introduction of the Straw Hat Army. Oh, boo-hoo. I feel so bad for you. This is like a crew that's gonna get destroyed in about 5 seconds. Our army's gonna take him down. Oh, an anti-Straw Hat army? Looks like Luffy agreed to it. You get the big one, Luffy. Big boss. It's funny Harudin getting a very small one. What's he thinking? Maybe he won't agree to it. Or maybe he will? Damn. He already made a sake vow with his brothers. Yeah, looks like Luffy's gonna deny it. Yeah, I was 50-50 on it, so let's see. That's true. Stop telling him what he can't do. That's not how you're gonna convince him. I mean, they're going about that wrong. I bet I could convince Luffy. Usopp immediately apologized. Robin's just in the best mood. She loves when things are so chaotic. Law's like, this army would have helped us so much. Okay. But as friends. Okay. So we still have the allies. But we're not an army. We're just friends. Of course, Bart's all in. Yep. But, I mean, we might need the army right now. My god. Jeez. Well, had to do something with the rubble. Might as well use it for for those stupid pirates. You did your job. Aww. Thank you, Fujitora. Uh-huh. Yeah, we can make the oath. I like that. Not making you do anything. We can choose to follow along with this. This is great. Yep. And Zoro is drinking the big one. Poor Leo has to drink one, you know, 5 times his size. And poor Harajin has to drink one that's a drop. That's so good. That's best case scenario for me, honestly. He's so pissed about it. I mean, yeah, you can have the freedom to do what you want. Doesn't mean Luffy has to be happy about it. Hell yeah. Yeah, you don't have to do anything different. That does look good. Awesome. They take it as an order, him just casually saying it. I don't think I could be happier with the outcome of that scene. That debris is still falling, Jesus. Fujitora's like, oops, I guess I'm bad at aiming. Sorry about that. So cool. I hope they all get like straw hat theming for their ships. Oh. Aww. That's alright. Sengoku's probably not gonna rat you out. He's honorable. Hell yeah! Aww. Bart's dream come true. I'm so glad Baby Five's with this group. I'm so happy about it. They just picked my favorite character out of Doflamingo's family and go, we'll keep her. Ah, the music! Hard enough days. So darted I can't, baby. Hey, let's go. Even though they're doing all this recap. Oh, it's not recap, it's flashback. Small difference. At the very least, I can vibe along to the song. I mean, honestly, if I watched this arc over the, what, 2 years or whatever that it came out, this scene would be way better, I think. Because I wouldn't be as fresh in my mind, you know? Me watching 7 episodes a week makes scenes like this a bit weaker. But man, fucking 4th gear is so hype. Okay, good. They got to see that they got away. Whew. I'm glad. We'll see you again in the One Piece epilogue, I'm sure. Oh, it's like her. her as a kid. Or even when they were soldiering. When he was soldier, yeah. Cute. What if Cavendish turned to a murderer and killed everyone on the ship? Kind of cool seeing Zoro and Law just hang out. Look at Baby 5. Of course. I want to reread that little monologue. Cool. Okay, let me read that monologue again, because at the start of the monologue, I was reading it as if it was just like a recap, but then it started to hint at something. So, by a quirk of fate or by chance, oops, I've already lost it. These 7 extraordinary men gathered together. They will develop themselves individually hereafter. Oops. And will eventually cause a major incident that will go down in history. But that's a story no one could have known at the time. That's quite the fucking tease. Wow. What a fantastic episode. I mean, just the events that happened in this episode, I really liked. I think it's brilliant to me because Luffy, I did say like it was like a 50-50. I couldn't really tell which way they were going to go with it, right? And, you know, just because I think as a writer, like, I know people are going to say, like, well, it was obvious from the start Luffy was never going to agree to that, blah, 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 right? But the thing is, as a writer, genuinely, like, a character isn't this. A character is this, okay? There's, like, certain beliefs that a character holds, but, like, a character there isn't one answer for what they would do in a situation. There's a spectrum of answers. And that doesn't make the character weaker. In fact, that adds more depth. People, in general, are not so predictable that you know exactly what they're going to do at any given time. People have contradictions to them. You can say, like, oh, this sort of thing goes against everything the person believes in or whatever. But people inherently have some sort of contradictions within themselves. So you might say, like, oh, Gent, you know, like, you might say, as an example, you know, oh, Gent loves attractive female characters. It doesn't just have to be attractive, but let's generalize for me. Attractive female characters in media, and, you know, we'll instantly get attached to them, right? As a general rule, you can probably guess that that's going to happen. And yet, sometimes you'll come into a show and there'll be an attractive female character that jumps into the show, and, like, really early on, you know, I just don't have any connection to them. I don't care about them. And, like, is there good reason for it? Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes they can be well-designed, a perfectly good character, even, like, my type of character, and it just won't click with me, you know? And that's a very basic example. But, like, sometimes people will have beliefs, but then there's a certain thing that you know, that changes it a little bit. And also, Luffy as a personality is kind of contradictory. Like, he even said in this episode, I don't want to be someone important, I just want to be king of the pirates. Which is contradictory in itself, right? He wants the most important, he wants to be the most iconic, important person, arguably, in the world. But he doesn't want it for the importance. And we know what that means. I'm not saying it's contradictory as in it doesn't make sense. It does make a weird amount of sense, but it is contradictory. So characters have that sort of like wide range. And the reason I think that's very interesting is because it means the writer has freedom to move within. If a character was so flat, then fanfiction, if someone solved what the character is, fanfiction could be, like, you know, the same as the actual fiction itself. What we tend to like about it is the way that the writer weaves that character through the spectrum, and we find different, you know, different paths and stuff. So, so all of that being said, I think there was enough of a spectrum that you could have, as a writer, written a way for Luffy to accept that, or a way for Luffy to have denied that. You could have written either one, and I don't think either would have been out of character. I genuinely 100% believe that. However, with that being said, I think Oda did it the perfect way here, because I was excited in the previous discussion about the prospect of what Oda was setting up with these armies. I was really excited about the potential for the story that creates. But at the same time, I conceded that possibly Luffy would deny it. It's just kind of in his character. He might say no to it, right? What Oda did was he took both of those feelings, the excitement of the potential and the sort of the contradiction in that it might hold with Luffy's character, and played with them both in such a perfect way that we got both. And it's really, really well done, because we allowed Luffy to have the moment of like, no, sorry, but I'm about freedom, and I don't want this to be a thing. I don't want to be important. I don't want to be known as like this big leader or whatever. And I'm not into this whole thing that you're setting up here. So, like, you know, if you guys need help, I'll help. And if I need help, I'm gonna call for you, and hopefully you guys can help. That's great. That's what friendship is. That's what we'll do anyway. That's what freedom is. But we're not gonna be in like a rigid army system where I'm the leader and there's like this hierarchy. Like, I don't want that. That's what Luffy says. He stands up there, and that's perfect for Luffy's character. It makes a lot of sense. But then what's really great is the others twisting it around on him and going, oh, okay, so you're about freedom, huh? And we're about freedom too. So yeah, that makes sense. We want to do this army, right? Yeah? Well, you all on board? Yep, okay, yeah. So we're going to do the army anyway, and we're going to be under you anyway. But you know, we're free to do what we want, so you can't stop us. So we're forming the army. And I love that idea, because it's great, because it shows like that's real loyalty. Like, he doesn't even want the power. I mean, you know, there's the idea of like a big part of the reason like politicians tend to suck is because the sorts of people who want power aren't the ones who should have it, and the sorts of people who are like thrust into power and don't want that are the ones that tend to do better with it. That kind of applies to Luffy, right? Luffy doesn't want this power, but it's because of that, or at least that's one of the main reasons, that it's so right for him. It's so right for him to be in charge of these people. Excuse me. And for all of this to happen. So I just think, like, this video has had some really, really great writing decisions from Oda. And I mean, maybe I'm just in a really good mood today, so it's like hitting me extra hard. That's possible. That happens sometimes. But I think genuinely these are really... And I genuinely hope that I'm getting across to you what I find so impressive about this writing, because I'm a positive guy. I tend to, if I like something a little bit, I will compliment it a lot, right? Because it's more fun that way to experience media, and when you like something, lean into it. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun way to consume media, because it's better to love something than to like it. And so, like, instead of just letting that feeling pass me by, I dwell on that feeling because it's a good feeling. But at the same time, while I'm watching series, you know, I tend to also look at it both from a viewer perspective and like try to look at it from a writer's perspective. But one thing that I try not to do is I try not to look at it at a writer's perspective for how could this be done better? You know, how would I write it, and what are the mistakes this writer is making in the story? You know, oh, they should have added this in here. I try not to do that as best I can. However, what I do it for is I will think of the story and think of the ways that if I was writing the story, this is how I would have it play out. And the reasons I do that is so that when I can see these paths, and then Oda cuts a path like in the middle of all of my paths that like really elegantly bisects the things that I would have tried to achieve, but he does it so much better. It makes me so impressed, and it makes me so giddy about it. I love when, you know, because I'm obviously watching One Piece because I think Oda's a good writer. So I love when he can prove to me like he's just like he's working on a level that I'm not at yet, because it's really impressive. So yeah, I have nothing but respect for the storytelling in this damn series. Only thing that I will say is that in this episode, and this isn't a problem with the writing, this is the characters in the series, I have a problem with them, in that I would say this to them: you guys are bad at convincing Luffy. The entire time they were trying to say to him, and I mean, look, we as a viewers know Luffy way better than the characters in this do, so it's not their fault that they don't know this about Luffy. But when they're standing there and they're going like, you know, this army is going to be really useful for you, and you are going to come across people who you're not going to be able to deal with, and you're going to need us. You're going to need a huge army like this, otherwise you're going to be screwed, you know? And they were saying over and over again, like, you need us. And the entire time I was saying and thinking, don't say that. Luffy doesn't want that. Luffy doesn't like to be told that, oh, this is, you know, this path that we're telling you have to take is the path that you have to take. Luffy likes freedom. He likes to know that there's nothing that he needs. He likes to know that if he has something, it's because he chose to have it, and he can do the route without it, but he just wants it, you know? Like, he wants his crew, for example, you know? If, like, he could probably... I mean, we love the Straw Hat crew. They're incredible, and I think by the end of the series, all of them are going to be some of the best, if not the best, at their profession. But, like, I feel like if he really, really wanted to search hard, he could find a better doctor than Chopper. You know, he could maybe find a better... hurts to say this, maybe find a better navigator than Nami, you know? He could probably, like, replace these people if all he was going for is pure strength, you know? Or he could go, I'm going to have 100 doctors and 50 navigators and whatever. And he could probably find enough and get them to come with him or whatever. But he wants these things. He wanted Nami and Chopper and all of these characters to join his crew because of them, not because of what they could provide. He was just also happy. Like, he also, that was like an extra tick on their resume. But for some of them, like, I think with Chopper, was it that he didn't even know he was a doctor when he asked him? He was just like, oh, you're a cool reindeer monster and I like your spunk, so come join us, right? So, like, that, it's like he just wants to take these people on the trip with him, but he doesn't want to be told he needs those people. He just really wants to do it because he wants to, you know? So yeah, I think they were going about that the wrong way. I don't have the argument exactly in my head right now, but I really feel like you would be able to make an argument that would be able to convince Luffy to drink from that cup. I do genuinely think there is a way to do it. I know he's stubborn as fuck, but you can also, depending on how you phrase things, get things around Luffy and make him feel more excited about the concept than just being told what to do, essentially. But this was sprung on him, and so he is much less likely to accept it if people are telling him this is something that he needs to do. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode and the final episode that we're doing in this video, and the final episode of the DRESSROSA arc. Even though that episode that we just watched was, that felt like a wrap-up of DRESSROSA, but just, you know, double checking, but I'm pretty sure there's still one left that we're doing. I mean, I have on my schedule at least that we are doing 746 as well. And 746 is not a filler episode. And it's not even mixed canon and filler. It's just straight up manga canon. And it's still on Crunchyroll within the DRESSROSA bit, so I'm going to assume it's still part of DRESSROSA. I wonder what this is going to be like. Let's jump into this episode. Here we go. This is the last time I'll hear it, I think, probably. Okay, recap, Rubik's. Here we go. Final recap of the arc. Are they even gonna recap? Sometimes they don't towards the end. They are gonna recap. And that's the cube complete. This episode is gonna be called The Story of the Seas. Surprising development in the West Blue. I don't know. Just go really out there, see if I can get something crazy right. Law, what's up, buddy? Your life goal has been achieved. Oh, Robin's here. Give me a nice one-on-one. You're leaving that behind. Talk to her, you stupid fucking loser. How dare you? Of course, she's never going to be bothered by something like that. She gets it. Still, he fell down like one character ranking for that. Oh. What the fuck? Yeah, Cypher Pole Zero. Is that Kaku? And is this Lucci? It's Lucci? What the heck? Wait, so they're CP0 now? And that was, I imagine that was Backbroken guy, right? I don't care about him though. Look at this fucking place now. It was so beautiful at the start. Oh. Yeah, show me how it's beautiful again. Yes! I like that they go back to Violet dancing. Crazy that Sanji and her were basically dating, but then he left without much fanfare, you know? That's actually wild. They may never see each other again. Am I allowed to retire yet? Damn. Do they have a direct relation to the government now? Aww. I mean, most of you can't see them. There's no way you can see them from that distance. Oh yeah, they mentioned that. The World Conference Reverie. Cute. Nice, I'm glad about that. I thought maybe they would like stay apart from the royal family, but Aww. Cool. It's like the toys at the start, but this isn't fucked up. I don't know if this is the first priority. I know we should respect them, but let's build some houses for people to live in first. Cool. What a fun conclusion. I love him. Yes. It's about his pride too. Oh, the laugh. He's talking to Suru. Well, you fucked it up, dude. He's trying to stay confident, but... Hell yeah, Suru. Yeah, rub it in his face. Yeah. No, I know it's gonna be bad. Blackbeard, maybe? I guess Blackbeard doesn't rule the seas yet, but he's a force to be reckoned with. That does make sense. Oh, this is so high. This is cool. That they should watch out. This music! Holy shit. What a cool build-up scene. Oh, gives me chills. This used Doflamingo's awesome voice actor for one more good speech. And Suru's like, shut up, I don't care. Good question. What? You're making demands? She can totally say no. I'm not giving you a newspaper every day. They were gonna try to break him out. Okay. That was the... Was that the Kaido banner? Or that was the banner that I thought was Kaido at some point, and it might still be. Mr. Luffy, go. Going Luffy. That's amazing. Oh my gosh! The Mary! That's nice! It's really tacky, but very nice. Oh, it's a stretchy arm! That's so cool! I love that Robin's the one that noticed the chopper bit. Wow, he knows a lot. He knows Belmare? This is really nice. This is exactly what I wanted. Nice. It's funny that they're all now big butt, like big straw hat fanboys like Bart. Yeah. Okay, Bellamy got one. Yeah, of course, all the army leaders. True. Oh, really? Okay, give me these bounties. Whoa! Oh, they've changed the pictures? Sword. How cute! 500 mil. That's awesome. Good picture. 320 mil, yep. Good picture. Robin. 130? Love that picture. Frankie's kind of cool. That's true. It's actually Usopp that gets it. And they're 200 mil? That's amazing. Higher than Robin. I mean, Doflamingo wanted him bad. Sanji 177? Oh my god. That's his thing? I hate it. I did way prefer his previous Nami. Oh, I think I prefer that. Chopper. And then Brook 83. That's fucking awesome. Only alive? Huh. What's going on here? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Is that real or is that filler teaser? Alright, what a great episode. I don't know if that end bit was like, oh, this is a tease for like a big thing coming, or if that end tease was like, the next few episodes are going to be filler episodes. Because I know the next few episodes are filler episodes. So that might be a tease for that. So I guess I should give this update now. Because I believe after Dressrosa was supposed to be the next movie, right? And I will be doing the next movie, but I might be waiting a little bit. So, because the next movie is the film Gold, right? And there's also a TV special called Heart of Gold. And I believe, you know, they're supposed to be like sort of back to back, right? So it's gonna be like kind of a big thing. And we've been doing a lot of extra videos lately. So I think we're gonna be waiting on the film. And I'll put it up, or I'll do it sometime in the near future, either during the Zoe arc or after it, just after it. It probably won't be later than that. I probably won't do it like in the middle of the arc after that or whatever. I'll probably try to do it either between arcs or in the middle of Zoe somewhere. But I mean, yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess good news of that for YouTube people is like there might be a shorter sort of exclusive time that Patreon will have it, because I might actually just have it that I post it full length on Patreon, and then pretty soon after that I edit it and put it up on YouTube, because probably by the time I'm recording it, YouTube will already be finishing up Dressrosa or have finished Dressrosa, so I can just kind of like put it up whenever. So it might, you know, it could be possible. I don't think this is going to be the case, but it could be possible that when you're watching this on YouTube, I will actually very soon put the movie reaction up. But just know that I'm not going to be recording it until I'm already, you know, partway through the next arc. But yeah, anyway, this was a really good episode. Let's just talk about the bounty posters, the new bounty everything first. I'm going to go back and look at these posters and everything. I'm very, very happy that we changed posters and that we got new bounties. I think they also said that, did they say Laws was 500 million? I only caught the end of that. Yeah. I threw out yours. I missed the joke part of it. But yeah, his bounty went up to 500 million, which is cool. So his is the same as Luffy's. But I'm just making sure to write that down. But I mean, let's look at these. That's really funny. Okay, let's look at these posters. So the Luffy one, yeah, I wanna do like a full a full dive into these ones. So yeah, the Luffy one, 500 million, pretty fucking sick. I love that. That's a good value, and I love that poster. That design for a poster and that art style and everything. That's awesome. That's one of my favorite Luffy ones that we've had. I think that looks great. It captures his personality perfectly. It's still got sort of the iconic, like him waving at the wanted poster. The big smile. It's, yeah, great art style. Everything about that is great. That's one of my favorite Luffy ones. Next up, we got Zoro. That's a pretty good Zoro one. I think from memory, I preferred his last one slightly. But this is still very cool. This matches Zoro very nicely, and he's at 320. So very nice. Robin, this is fucking like cinema. This is great. I love this. It's about on par, I think, with the one where she's doing that at Ennis Lobby. But I mean, I really like this one because it feels like it captures like the mystery of Nico Robin properly. It's really beautiful. Like, I want that on my wall. And then you have the Frankie one. Frankie one's pretty cool. I mean, as Frankie said, it's not even like technically Frankie in the picture. It's like the general Frankie or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool. I don't have much to say about that one, positive or negative. In the background is like, was that taken on Fishman Island? Were all of these taken on Fishman Island, maybe? I'm trying to see if I can see in the backgrounds. It's kind of hard to see. But I think that might be the implication, was that's when that photo was taken. That's when they got that from. But yeah, very cool. I like that. And then you have Usopp's, which I wish it went straight to it. Can you show me the full poster? There we go. So Usopp's is a picture that was taken while he was being like hung up, like he was crucified, held up by Harudin. I like that his is changed from Sogeking to God Usopp. It's very funny because, like, no matter what, he's being treated as like this really incredible figure. Like, he was either king of the snipers and now he's God Usopp. But it makes sense that he's like really well known because he was known as like the one Doflamingo wanted the most, and Doflamingo publicly said like, this motherfucker is my top one. So it's very funny that Usopp gets a high thing, but it also like makes sense for the story. So he's got the third highest on the crew. Like, he's right behind Luffy and Zoro. That's fucking crazy. Great job, Usopp. So then we have Sanji. I hate this. So that was taken on Fishman Island. It's got the fucking thing in the background, the fish in the background. This is awful. Like, obviously it's part of the joke is that Sanji gets terrible wanted posters, right? I hate it. I hate it so much. I want Sanji to have a cool one. Wouldn't it be cool to see like a cool Sanji poster? But no, he gets lame ones. He gets really, really stupid looking ones. And it emphasizes the worst parts of Sanji, and it's in an art style that looks horrible. So all of it's bad. Every part about that is bad. Only Alive, I don't know if maybe I'm misremembering or like either not remembering or if this is like a hint for later. But I wonder why, like what I wonder who's doing that. Who has put him as only alive and why? So I'm curious about that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna need to analyze the previous wanted poster to see which one I like more, because they're both up there. So give me a sec. Okay, all right. So this is the previous one, and then that's the new one, right? I mean, this is also the previous one from... I just got this off Google Images. I can't tell if this is supposed to be the manga one. This might be the manga version of it. And then they would have redrawn it for the anime. God, it's close. I think I prefer the new one. I think I like the new one more. You know what it is? I think it's crazy. I think the side boob is a bit too much. I mean, you can't even see the side boob, but I think the boob is a bit too much. The way her hair is like draped over her arm and the expression, yeah, top tier, really cooking with this one, Oda. Really good. I love it. It's like this is what I love about Nami. See, I don't need like you can be like, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, why are they, you know, putting Nami in a bikini, or they're showing her boobs too much or whatever. It's clear. I'm not complaining about that stuff because I don't like Nami being hot and I don't like them emphasizing Nami's hotness. I want them to do that. This is the perfect way to do it for me. Like, this just shows like, hey, this is a beautiful character and she knows she's beautiful and she loves flaunting it. This is the perfect way to do it for me. This is ideal. I don't need like it to be like half boobs and huge, like a lot of cleavage being shown or whatever. Show me this. I'm gonna like dedicate my life to this woman. You know, I will absolutely do it. So I love to simp. I absolutely love to simp. Whenever I'm talking about like, oh, I wish Nami wasn't always in a bikini sometimes, you know, or I wish she covered up a little bit more. It's because like, I want to see these parts of the beauty. I want them to focus on this part of Nami's beauty to me, because this is peak Nami. I feel like look, we haven't had Nami in the story for a little while, other than the little bit we just got in that Zoe clip we saw. So I'm extra craving more Nami content, and so this is, you know, if I dedicate a part of this discussion to talking about how beautiful Nami is, you guys can fucking forgive me. Yeah, I'm sure you have to. I don't want to read any comments complaining about it or making weird comments, like snide comments about it, because I earned this. I've gone so long without this woman. She's the best character in this show, and I get to see her again in this form. This is fucking gorgeous. All right, let's move on. Chopper. I think I like this. This is when he has the cotton candy. I just realized that. This is with him finding out what cotton candy is. Well, was that in the archipelago when he had cotton candy? Or did he do that in Fishman? Because this is still Fishman. You can see the coral in the background. So, I mean, I guess... but kind of looks like archipelago vibes. Like, I can't remember. Did Chopper wear that outfit in Fishman Island? I know he wore that in the archipelago, like, post-time skip. But I'm not sure. I don't know when that would have been taken. Did they have cotton candy in Fishman Island? Maybe they did. I might be forgetting. But yeah, very funny. I mean, he gets a tiny bounty because they still think he's just, like, their pet. But still, like, come on, 100 berries is disrespectful. Like, like 100 berries, if we're assuming this is like yen, that's probably the closest guess we have, it's like a dollar. You're basically saying, I'll give you $1 for Chopper. Even if he is the Straw Hat's pet, I would put the Straw Hat goldfish at 2,000 berries, you know? Because it's like something that's theirs. And so, like, getting anything of the Straw Hats would be like, it'd be sticking it to them. So, and surely people have seen Chopper do some things at this point, even if they think he's just like a dumb animal, a pet, even if they don't know the full extent of what he's like. I'm sure they've seen him do something. Someone has, maybe. Anyway, and then Brooks is his poster. Dead or Alive. The Oh, the SK Brook, right? Soul King. I was going Scrubrook, Skullbrook, but no, the SK Brook. So the Soul King Brook. Cool. So yeah, he got 83 million. That's a cool poster. I like that his wanted poster is like such a different vibe than everyone else's. Oh, Nami. Yeah, this is great. This is a great update of bounty posters. I love it very, very much. This whole episode was very good. I liked the talk between... It's funny, it just switched to the scene I'm talking about because the episode had... Like, I'd been paused for too long, and Crunchyroll, like, resets it when you pause for too long, and it switched to that. But the talk between Robin and Law, it was very small, but I liked it. Because, you know, it's just like Robin reminding Law in that moment. He's reminding him like, hey, just so you remember, you've gotten everything you wanted. You can start looking to the future. Like that's kind of the vibe that I got from her saying that. And he's just like, I think Law's in a complicated place because I think when you've gotten what you want, it's never going to feel quite as good as what you thought it would. You know, like, it's never going to be like, oh shit, this is what life should feel like, you know? Like, he's still going to feel empty and angry inside and frustrated, and he's still going to be missing Korra. So I get it, why he wouldn't be all smiles. And he still has more of a mission to do, and they're in a lot of danger. And like, he's seen how Straw Hat did, you know, Luffy did all of the work, not all of it, but a lot of the work essentially. And there's a lot of stuff that's gone into it, you know. He's probably in pain, might be missing his crew. There's a lot. So it makes sense that he wouldn't be happy right now. But don't take it out on Robin, you monster. How dare you? And I like the ship as well, the Mr. Luffy Go or whatever. It's a great ship. Remember when I said like, oh, I hope they get their ships like decorated like a Straw Hat things? I was just thinking like, oh, you put the Straw Hat logo on the flags, or you put the Straw Hat logo like on the mast or something, like on the like wood of the ship, just as it's like the flag is our flag, but we have a Straw Hat logo to show like we're under the branch of Straw Hats, right? Something like that. I didn't think that they would go all out and go like, we're gonna have the entire ship look like Luffy's body, but that's fucking awesome. I love that. I feel like Oda would have had a fun time designing that ship because it's really silly and great. We saw CP0 in this episode as well, and it's, by the looks of it, Lucci, Kaku, and Spandam. That was his name, right? It seemed Spandam was the only one I was like less sure about. It was definitely Lucci. And it was, I'm pretty sure it was Kaku because of the nose. Because I mean, that would be kind of wild if they were showing that nose and it wasn't Kaku, right? And then, yeah, I mean, it must have been Spandam. He's got the fucking things over his face. And he's got the hair. Yeah. It's got to be Spandam. So they're CP0 now? And now Lucci's like fully in charge instead of Spandam being in charge. Makes a lot of sense. Because Lucci was definitely the best one there. So yeah, they were... Is CP0... Would that be a promotion? I imagine that's a promotion, wouldn't it be? But like, they failed. I know it's like they only just failed and they did their best or whatever, but they did fail. Did they actually like go up the ranks? I mean, it has been 2 years since then, so I guess they could have failed, but then done a lot of stuff to make up for that and risen the ranks. So yeah, who knows? Oh yeah, and the only other thing I wanted to talk about was DRESSROSA. When we first saw it, I fell in love with like the look of Dressrosa because it was such a colorful city, and there was music and dancing, and there was like lots of people who were happily living with toys and stuff, and I thought that was like a cool vibe. It's like these people coexisting with toys, and it was like treated very normally, and they were just hanging out with them, and I just thought that was like a really nice vibe for the city. And then obviously as the arc goes on, we find out it's not really a nice vibe. The toy part of it is really horrible, and it's actually they're essentially being like enslaved and trapped there and whatever, right? So like it makes that less happy, but it's kind of sad because early Dressrosa, I really loved the vibe of Dressrosa, and then you find out that that's all a facade and stuff. What Oda's done here now is he's gone, well, now we've destroyed most of the beautiful scenery of Dressrosa, but that's just stuff that can be rebuilt, you know? But what's kept alive is the spirit of what we knew Dressrosa to be early on. There's still the singing and dancing and music and the happy people, and there's still humanity coexisting with others, but it's not toys anymore. Now it's the Tontatas. Now they know the Tontatas are there and they're coexisting with them. That's fucking great. That's great. Like, once again, Oda's done something that I wouldn't have thought of, but has given me what I wanted without me realizing that's what I wanted, you know? And I think that's really the sign of great writing, when you can like figure out what it is the viewer wants and give it to them in a way that they don't know they want it. Like, instead of giving me, oh, but then the people choose to turn back to toys and they stay as toys, you know, so there are still toys coexisting, or, you know, something like that. Or, oh, the city's all fixed again, or whatever, you know, like you could figure out ways to do that, but instead it's like, no, what you liked was the feeling that early Dressrosa gave you, that vibe of city. That vibe is still around, and we can keep that vibe. We'll give it to you in a new flavor, and I think that's just so well done, because it reminds me of I used to, when I was growing up, and by when I was growing up I mean when I was in high school, I used to listen to a lot of the podcast Harmontown, which is the writer Dan Harmon, who's the creator of Community and of Rick and Morty. He had a podcast, and that podcast I used to listen to literally every day, I think. Like, it only came out once a week, but when an episode wasn't coming out, I'd be re-listening to old episodes, and I would listen to them as I was falling asleep and stuff as well. So I would listen to it a lot. And Dan Harmon is a writer that I really enjoy, and I really like his way of telling stories, and I like hearing him talk about his approach to storytelling. At some point, and now I don't remember where this was, if this was on Harmontown or if this was on like a director's commentary or something, but I remember at some point he talked about getting studio notes, and you get notes from the studio about like, like what you should do, and like, I can't remember the exact example he gave, but it was something along these lines, like, oh, what you should do is you should add, like, oh, you should add a dog to this scene. You should add a dog. Like, this scene needs a dog. Like, he would see a note like that, and he would go like, well, a dog wouldn't work for the scene at all. But the note, there's something to the note. Like, they're saying that note for a reason. The problem is, the people who are writing that note don't know why they want a dog in there. Like, they just go like, well, it needs a dog. Like, I think the dog would fix the scene, right? But actually what they're saying, and what they don't know they're saying, is the scene needs like more beauty or something more upbeat, something happier to it, right? So it doesn't literally need a dog. It needs something, the same thing that a dog would provide, which is, oh, look at that dog, and people feeling happier and it being cute and the characters being more light or whatever. So you rewrite the scene to give the feeling that a dog would give, but make it make more sense to the story. Make it be within your own, in your own words and in your own vibe, and like not actually go like, oh, this dog came out of nowhere because the studio said it needed to be there. But instead, you're addressing what the note actually was, and that tends to make the piece better. And so, like, in that same way, I think, like, I would feel like, oh, if we came to the end of this arc and there wasn't the Dressrosa that I fell in love with, it would be sad. I would feel sad about it. You know, like there would be the victory, but I would go like, but it sucks that there's no Dressrosa anymore, you know? But what Oda gave me was not, hey, I gave you back Dressrosa. He went, hey, I gave you what you wanted from the feeling of Dressrosa. And that's good writing. Like, he knows what the audience wants, or at least he knows what he wants. I don't know if he's thinking of the audience when he's writing that. And honestly, sometimes as a writer, you shouldn't be. Sometimes you should just be going, I'm going to write the story that I'm going to write. But maybe Oda himself wanted that. He wanted whatever that feeling of Dressrosa was back. And he wrote it in a very nice way where we got that feeling back. So, it's brilliant. Anyway, I did a lot of writing talk this episode. If you enjoy the writing talk, you know, I'm not the best in the world at giving talks about writing. You can go fucking watch writing lectures. Brandon Sanderson's doing some extra writing lectures lately, which I admittedly have only watched clips of so far, but I might check him out at some point. But he tends to do good writing lectures. But if you like hearing me talk about, you know, writing in relation to One Piece and stuff, let me know, because I always like when people say, oh, I liked this bit of the discussion or whatever. So if there's any points where you go, oh, this discussion was so good, or this discussion made me think of things in a different way or whatever, please tell me. Like, genuinely, write it in the comments. I will be so ecstatic about it. But yeah, thank you for joining me for the end of Dressrosa. We did it! We did it. I'm so happy. I can't wait. Next video, we're going to be started on the Zoe arc. I don't know how it's going to, where it's going to go. I don't know what kind of enemies we're going to come across. But it's only a 30 episode arc or whatever, so it will probably be relatively well paced. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like 30 episodes. You can probably pace it pretty well. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. And join the YouTube membership down below to get 1 week early on edited videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.